Everybody, this is Backlog Gaming here, and today's video is going to be focused around Pokemon. Now, it is Pokemon's official 20th year anniversary today, so as normal, I'm going to do a video about Pokemon, but more personal than you might think. It's not just going to be a brief overview of their history or an homage to one of their games or not, but I want to tell you exactly what Pokemon means to me. What did Pokemon do for my life? How did it change my life? And how did it change my perspective about people and everything? So if that all sounds interesting to you, go ahead and stay tuned. This is what we have here. Pokemon came out 20 years ago. I originally picked up Pokemon Red as my first game, and then from there went into Yellow. And we'll get into why that happened. It wasn't because I was looking for an upgrade or anything, but it is a unique story focused around it. But first, let's backtrack here. So I picked up Pokemon Red. At this point in time, my childhood, I was in grade school. You know, I was in elementary school. I think I was in about 4th grade when it came out, roughly. And it was interesting is because I was really big into sports. I played a lot of basketball, played like soccer, kickball. I was really good at sports, and I was really fit. And then Pokemon happened. Now, my brother had always been gaming my entire life. We always had like the Super Nintendo, and before that a couple other consoles that I can't really remember because they're very vague, but gaming was a kind of part of my lifestyle. What Pokemon did is made gaming my lifestyle. This is a main reason. This is one of the main reasons that I have a YouTube channel focused around gaming. This is one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about gaming. And this is also another reason why I just love Pokemon all that much more. Now, how it changed my life is that you started to become less active, basically playing sports and hanging out with the sports crowd at my grade school, and more or less hanging out with the different people that normally didn't play sports or weren't very good at sports. But the reason why I was hanging out with them is because they played Pokemon. That's why. So it bridged that gap. I've always been able to relate to, sports, and I've always been able to relate to video games, and my real passion left sports and started focusing on video games. So Pokemon Red was the first one that I owned, and from there I had a Game Boy Pocket, not a Game Boy Color, an original Game Boy Pocket. It was teal in color, but I've recently have parted with it. I no longer have it to show you guys. But I would spend recess, I would take this to school, I'd go ahead and play it and trade Pokemon. My friend had Pokemon Blue, I had Pokemon Red, so as natural we would be able to trade. But this is the big problem, is that neither of us had a link cable. He got his brother into Pokemon in order to convince his parents that a link cable was needed in order for me and him to trade Pokemon. So that was interesting in itself. Once we got the link cable, we couldn't stop battling each other. We couldn't stop doing crazy things. Battling, trading, just leveling our characters. And then I discovered the internet. And what did the internet do for me? It taught me the duplication item trick. Now, this was back in Pokemon Red, and this is just based off of all memory, is that you had to put your Pokemon in the Pokemon bank or something like that with the item attached to it and move it to a certain bank level, and then remove it, and then they would duplicate the item and you wouldn't take it out of your inventory. Or you would duplicate the Pokemon holding the item, and then from there you could have multiple items. I can't really remember the details of it. I'm sure the internet still has this somewhere out there if you wanted to find it. But what I did is I took a whole bunch of rare candies and just started popping them into my Charizard's mouth like rotten candy and leveled them all the way up in one night. And then I went back and we battled each other, and he pretty much shit his pants. He didn't know how I did it, and I had to show him, of course, because I did find him as a friend, and he is still a great friend to this day of mine. So you kind of got to mess with people a little bit every now and then. Now, earlier in the video, I talked about how come I had Pokemon Red, and then I went to Pokemon Yellow, and then later I went to Pokemon Silver because that was the new game. But there is a distinctive story about why I went from Pokemon Red to Pokemon Yellow. So I was playing, I was at home, and we had a swing set in the backyard that I was chilling on, you know, leveling my Charizard, and I would save quite frequently. Well, I had an older brother. Well, my older brother thought it would be funny to smack my Game Boy out of my hands. Now, I don't know if anybody knows this about the original Game Boy. Every time you were saving your game, it said, please do not remove the cartridge or turn off the system. It says that with everything, right? Well, lo and behold, I'm saving. He goes ahead and smacks it out of my hand. He goes fucking flying. I'm freaking out, and it separates. Well, I go to load my game, and tons and tons of hours wasted because the game was corrupted. I didn't have a backup save. I wasn't that knowledgeable when I was a kid. I was naive. So this really, really put the wind out of my sails because I had put so many hours. I had so many of the original 150 Pokemon. I just really, really, really was salty about it. To this day, he won't admit that it ever happened, but I will always remember that day like it was yesterday that he smacked that. Oh, man. Yeah, still salty about it. Anyways, I bitched to my parents, and as a kid, I didn't really have that much money. My parents finally buckled and took me to the store. This is our local Walmart at the time, and I seen Pokemon Yellow. And I was like, I want that one. So from there, I got Pokemon Yellow, and I started playing again. Started leveling up. I had Pikachu, not Charmander, off of the bat, and started getting up pretty high. Well, then I saw Pokemon Silver and Pokemon Gold. So I went to my friend, and I was like, hey, which one are you getting? He said he's getting in Pokemon Silver. So I said, all right, that's fine. I'll pick up Pokemon Gold. So then I got Pokemon Gold, and that was the last Pokemon game I have bought for a long time. Because I didn't have a Nintendo DS. I didn't upgrade to a Game Boy Advance. I didn't upgrade to any of those. I only just had my Game Boy Pocket. So finally, the 3DS rolled around, and I ended up picking up that one and getting Pokemon X and Y. But Pokemon has always changed my life. I view it as one of the most influential reasons of why I'm in gaming. So if you guys want to give a thanks, go ahead and give a thumbs up. If you like Pokemon, it did a lot for my life personally. I hope that you guys have great stories. If you do, share them down below in the comment section. I would love to read them and hear some crazy stuff that maybe happened with you and Pokemon. And then from there, guys, don't forget to subscribe. I'm trying to build a gaming channel, and I would love for your subscription to help gear me towards that goal of being more popular and getting more views and everything like that. Anyways, guys, that's it for me today. I'll see you next time.